And there are a lot of ways to analyze, talk about, think about, process that idea, but he's not the only one. Many of us have had the thought before, what's the point? Sometimes that question comes almost like with an expectation of an answer, that there is no point. And sometimes it's a real seeking, right? What is the point? Why am I here? Why does this matter?
Happy Monday, everyone. It's Sophie.
And Adi.
We're always looking for new ways to support you, and we know firsthand how life can get in the way.
So we've created 5-minute episodes with motivation from us and our great friends to keep you feeling ignited and inspired no matter what life throws at you.
Welcome to the Ignited Motivation Podcast. Mini episodes every Monday.
Listen while you brush your teeth.
Or on your morning walk.
And you'll never miss out on the latest tips and tricks that are keeping us feeling motivated.
I wanted to talk about existential angst today. What do I mean by existential angst? I know it's a light topic, just, a little afternoon coffee reading. Existential angst is that thing that comes up when you have that question in your head of what the hell's the point of all of it? What does it matter? Why are we here? Who cares? Right? All those questions are questions that get even below depression, anxiety, relationship issues, work stress, trauma from early childhood. It's like the ocean that swims under all of it. Because underlying that question is really something else, which is the struggle between believing that there is a point to all of it or that there isn't a point at all. And I was talking to a client of mine, again, literally just 2 days ago, and it was in the middle of a really long session, a 7-hour session, where in the middle, he looked at me and he says, "Oh my God, I remember." And I didn't know what was coming up for him, right? I'm not in his brain, so I don't know what he's remembering. I didn't know if there was trauma from early childhood or something else that he remembered. So I was asking, and he was having a really hard time, almost like a panic attack, having a really hard time talking to me about what it was that he just remembered. And I was just giving him space, and I was just allowing him to kind of get to the place where he felt like he could express it. And eventually, 15 minutes, 20 minutes in, he looks at me and he says, "I really don't want to die." Now, this guy's 23 years old. He's not a terminal cancer patient. He's not in hospice. He's not in a hospital. He's got no reason, objectively, quote unquote, right? Whatever the hell objective means, to be worried about what's going to be happening when he dies. So I wanted to dig in more deeply. And he's had a fear of death for a very long time, like since 8, 9, 10 years old, a very long time. It's been a fear for him. When we dug in more and more and more deeply, he found that he has no connection to why his life matters. And then what he's layered on top of it over time is that if it doesn't matter, then there's no point to living. So talk about perfectionism, talk about the need to achieve, talk about needing to show up and prove your worth. For this specific person, if what he is doing and what he does and what he proves to the world and what he shows up with and what he leaves behind is not important enough to prove his worth, then his life has no value. And if his life has no value, then why spend tomorrow alive is the question. And there are a lot of ways to analyze, talk about, think about, process that idea, but he's not the only one. Many of us have had the thought before, what's the point? Sometimes that question comes almost like with an expectation of an answer, that there is no point. And sometimes it's a real seeking, right? What is the point? Why am I here? Why does this matter? Now, I don't want to give you my answer because my answer doesn't matter for you all. My answer is my answer, and it's evolved over time. But I will tell you that there have been many, many, many times in my life where that question sat front and center for me and made me either really greatly appreciate what was happening in my life or resent, feel numb to, ignore, or care less about the present moment, because the answer to that question means a lot for our daily experience.
You just listened to the Ignited Motivation Podcast.
Did you love the mini dose of motivation? Please let us know. Your feedback and experience is our #1 motivator. Leave us a review, subscribe, and share with your favorite people on your favorite apps. And don't forget to catch the next episode every Monday.
Because we want to hear from you. So join the conversation and discover bonus content on our website and Instagram. You can find the links in the show notes. Now that you're ignited, what are you motivated to take on?